This is the WWE Raw January 13, 2025 full show results video which takes place at SAP Center in San Jose, California. An SUV rolls up into a loading dock and CM Punk steps out, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and the camera follows him all the way through his entrance to getting in the ring and on the mic. He soaks in the reaction of the crowd before taking a moment to thank all the fine firefighters of the state of California fighting the fires raging. He moves on to the entertainment portion of the event and talks about tearing his triceps off the bone in the Royal Rumble last year and how that led him to seethe in the distance. He does the John Cena "you can't see me" wave and segues into talking about Cena and says he sees him and he always has, and he's declared himself for the Royal Rumble, but he's here to tell us that so has he. Enter Seth Rollins, much to Punk's consternation, and he gets in the ring and stares CM down with a black eye before saying he knows Punk isn't happy to see him, but he shouldn't be surprised because last week he said win, lose or draw he'd be standing in this ring, and he's a man of his word, and if he wasn't a man of his word, he'd be CM Punk. CM points out he won last week and Seth says he'd rather be the worst version of himself than any version of Punk, and he's lost a lot of matches, big matches, main events, title matches. He's lost at WrestleMania, but last week was the worst loss of his career. He's disappointed he couldn't get it done, and his only redemption is to flush Punk's WrestleMania dreams down the toilet, so Seth is declaring for the Royal Rumble. Punk throws a few verbal jabs his way and the comes Drew McIntyre, again to Punk's consternation. He gets on the mic from the stage and says he has topped himself in the realm of self-service, and CM tells him the last time he saw him he was bloodied in the ring crying and begging for absolution, and it's gonna take a lot more than 15 staples to close his forehead if he comes to the ring this time. Drew tells him whoa, I wasn't talking about you, I was talking about Seth, and Rollins predictably doesn't take that well, and McIntyre says the two of them in the ring are the same, the only difference is that Punk is willing to admit that he's an asshole. They go back and forth. Punk says he's out of patience for this conversation, and if one of them wants to swing, he's right here and ready to fight. Rollins takes his jacket off and gets ready to go. Drew offers to make it a three-way and marches towards the ring before of course deciding that he would never do that because they have a bigger problem, and that's Roman Reigns playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers, and he'll just have to step up and lead the locker room. If only there was an every man for himself match for a guaranteed title match. Oh wait, there is, and he'll see the both of them in the Royal Rumble. Then we saw a match between Chad Gable versus Penta El Zero Miedo, and the result of this match was Penta defeated Chad Gable by pinfall with the Penta driver. Post-match, Penta is interviewed in the ring and he thanks San Jose and says this is his new home, and he knows everyone was waiting for this moment, and he wants to say the real truth is he's been waiting for this moment. He shifts to Spanish talking something about Mexico and all of Latin America and WWE before pulling the camera focus in for something else. He thanks his family and shifts back to English, saying this is a new era, and not only is it the Netflix new era, it's the Penta new era. He does a Ciro Miedo and says he loves us. In the Judgment Day's clubhouse, Finn Balor and Liv Morgan bicker, and Finn says he's gonna let her and Dominic Mysterio sort through their issues. Dom has a bouquet of roses and she says she's not mad. He's not buying it, but she insists she's not mad and asks him to go get her bags and Raquel Rodriguez's bags and to go make sure the valet is ready, and she tosses the roses to Carlito to find somewhere to put them. Mysterio is stoked that she's not mad and Finn tells him he has a lot to learn. Finn and JD McDonough talk about how they want the tag titles back, and JD takes Carlito to go talk to Adam Pearce about it, and Cologne gives Dom his roses back on his way out. Finn tells him to go get his girls' bags and continues getting ready for his match. The next match happened between Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus, and the result of this match was Sheamus defeated Ludwig Kaiser by pinfall with the Brogue Kick. Post-match, Sheamus confronts Braun Breaker at ringside and Breaker shoves him. Seth Rollins is interviewed backstage and he says Drew McIntyre has been needling him for months and he's sick of it, and next week they're gonna fight about it. He owes him one for WrestleMania, and next week is gonna be fun. Rollins runs into Sami Zayn, who tells him if he wants to talk he's here. Seth admits it was a rough week before saying it was a great week for Sami, right? Zayn is confused and Rollins says his boy Roman Reigns is tribal chief again, and what's next? Is he gonna help him win the Royal Rumble and the world title? Is he gonna keep helping Roman, or is he gonna help himself? Back from the commercial, Karrion Kross leaves Adam Pearce's office and berates The Miz because he's just found out that the Wyatt Six have been moved to SmackDown and he thinks it's his fault. Sami Zayn rolls up to go into Pearce's office, and of course Kross gets in his head, and then Zayn and Miz go back and forth, and Sami says he's gonna ask Adam for a match against him tonight. Gunther makes his entrance and gets on the mic, and he says last week he followed the debut of Raw on Netflix with great interest and he was very impressed in the visual experience, but as far as the action in the ring goes, he was less impressed. Everyone is fighting over some personal drama, but the only prize that's worth fighting for is his WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Main event Jey Uso interrupts him and Jey says if you need somebody to fight for the world title, he's your guy. Drew's behind him, bloodline drama is behind him, and now he's coming for Gunther at Saturday night's main event. Gunther says he's beaten him twice and Jey is capable of a whole lot less than he is. He'll give that he's funny and entertaining, but when that bell rings, he exposes him as a really talented tag team wrestler and nothing more. He's just not on Gunther's level, and to him main event is a nickname, but to the ring general, the main event is the place he belongs. He'll let him challenge him at Saturday night's main event, but he wants Jey to really think about it before he gets exposed. Gunther leaves and Jey calls him back, saying he does respect him and everything he said was true. People say he's not supposed to be in this spot, he's not supposed to sell all this merchandise, he's just a tag team guy, but every morning he wakes up and bets on himself to earn that respect, and Gunther will respect him when he beats his ass for the world title. Then we saw WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship Tournament Finals match between Dakota Kai vs Lyra Valkyria, and the result of this match was Lyra Valkyria defeated Dakota Kai when Dakota hits Scorpion Kick, Slingshot Stomp to the back of the neck, Lyra hits Fireman's Carry, GTK connects, Valkyria rolls to the safety of the floor, back inside, Lyra delivered Nightwing finisher, and become the inaugural WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. Post-match, General Manager Adam Pearce presents her with the belt and raises her hand. Dakota Kai slides back into the ring and Lyra raises her hand and they embrace. The next match happened between Sami Zayn vs The Miz, and the result of this match was Sami Zayn defeated The Miz by pinfall with the Blue Thunder Driver. Back from the commercial, Rhea Ripley makes her entrance and gets on the mic and says Mommy is back on top and she might sound like a broken record, but if you forgot, she's Rhea Bloody Ripley and she's one of the most dominant women in WWE and now once again your WWE Women's World Champion. Enter Nia Jax, wearing a cheetah print corset over a cheetah print bodysuit and friends I love animal print but it is a lot. She says she was just talking to Adam Pearce about the transfer window and she just decided to come down here to tell everyone she's winning the Royal Rumble and taking whatever title she wants. Tiffany Stratton might think she's on the tippy top, Rhea might think she's on top, and she doesn't know why Bayley is at ringside. Bayley says she lives here, Nia runs her down for living in a crappy town. Bayley jumps the barricade, Nia makes scary fingers and insults Bayley's ass and the role model says this might not be her show but it's her city and Jax should say it to her face, you big dumb idiot. Nia shoves her down, shoves Ripley down, headbutts exchanged but the babyfaces send Jax packing with kicks. In the main event of the show, we saw a street fight between Damian Priest vs Finn Balor. We see that Damian Priest delivered a broken arrow off a balcony and through the table. Finn Balor has been loaded onto a stretcher and is being wheeled out but Priest isn't done yet and he attacks Judgment Day on the stage and sends them packing. He wallops Finn and unstraps him and wheels the stretcher down the ramp, sending Balor flying off of it and into the ring. Then Carlito and JD starts beating Priest, but he was saved by War Raiders. In the end, Damian Priest hits South of Heaven to Finn Balor, and won the street fight by pinfall and the show goes off the air. How much you would rate this week's Monday Night Raw episode? Let me know in the comments section, please subscribe the channel, and thanks for watching the video.